Welcome back to TinyBlueGames. My name is, of course, Csaw or Chris, and today we're talking about Final Fantasy XIV in 2021. Today we are doing the Valentine's event, which is actually wrapped up into the Little Ladies' Day event for this year's, I don't know, it's like a mega event, I guess. And you might be thinking that's why he's finally doing the event right at the release of an event, but that's not actually why. I was looking at the marketing material for this event and I stumbled across the hat reward you get. And you might think, didn't you just get a hat from that last event? And haven't you been wearing it for like less than 2 weeks or something? And that might all be true, but I need this hat. I just need it. I need it. I need it. So here we are. Apparently, hats are a big driver for me, and we are jumping into it. But just before we start, I want to give a quick shout out to ffXIV. They have been a sponsor on the channel for quite some time. You will find a sponsored link in the description below if you want to try it out. They have a 3-day free trial, I think. They reduce lag in your game if you don't know what exit lag is. That's what they aim to do. So if you want to see if it works for you, give it a try and see if it does work before purchasing anything. If you do purchase something, there is a code Csaw, that will give you a discount at checkout. With all that said though, let's jump into the video. Alrighty, so we start the event where a lot of great events take place. And I think what's really exciting this year is that I actually remember a lot of these characters from last year's event. It feels like I'm truly becoming a Final Fantasy player where I'm watching the characters progress each year. And I think that is a really cool part of these events. We are working with Astrid and Lisette, though Lisette's really just here at the start and the end. But Astrid, I do remember from last year, so it's really cool to see that they're there. And similarly to last year, I'm trying to remember exactly what the story was, but they're trying to prove themselves that they can kind of like run things, and we're gonna go and do a mission with them. We have Koop, I'm gonna say, who's with us as well. He's got a fancy heart-shaped palm thingy, which is very similar to the hat we received. So it's pretty much just cutting off the top of his head and wearing it. They don't obviously suggest that because that sounds pretty gruesome, and I don't like to think of it that way, but it might be how these hats are made. With that said, here's what happened. Koop knows this lovely little girl named Aline, who is a secret admirer of sorts, although it's not a secret because he spoiled the secret. They're a big fan of our player character. They know of the adventures we go on, although granted, my adventures are maybe less than the characters all around me who are max level, but they know of our great adventures and they want to be an adventurer just like us. They wrote us a charming letter about it, but Koop has mentioned that this Aline has stopped wanting to be an adventurer recently, and he's, not really sure why, and he wants us to come and sort of encourage her to continue that journey and become another adventurer because the world could always use more adventurers. So we are going to visit her, and on the way we decide to make a painting to inspire her and make her rekindle that adventurer spirit. We take it to her, and once we present it to her, she loves it, and we finally get to the root of the problem, which is that she's kind of scared of the danger in the world. She's been practicing with her bow and her lance, and she just feels like it's already so dangerous around where she lives that she can't imagine going off into the world and facing the much greater danger that we go against every single day. So that's kind of the main issue that we're facing throughout this, and it really shapes the story for both sides of the events. And I think what I particularly love about Final Fantasy's Valentine's Day events is that they're not directly about like ashi-gashi lovey-dovey love. It's about like the love of adventure, the love of like what you do. Like it shapes love in such I'd say a different light, and I think it's really refreshing for a game to do that. So I think it's a really cool setup, and I was really excited with how they shape the story. So that's part 1 of the quest. Part 2, where we actually receive our lovely hat as a reward, is where Koop remembers that he has letters that he needs to deliver in Ul'dah. So he sort of suggests that we go and bring these letters, and that Elaine comes with them. And Elaine wants to go because this could be her first big adventure, and she wants us to come along so that her parents are okay with it, because apparently having someone as courageous and wonderful like us would convince them that it's a good adventure to go on. So we do that, and we travel to Ul'dah, and instead of just instantly teleporting there, which would be so easy, we need to take a ship. What is cool though is that Elaine's got this like super awesome travel outfit that is pretty sweet. I wish I had like travel clothes. I guess I could like make a glamour set just for traveling and then like switch, but that seems like a lot of work. Though I feel like some of the people who come on my stream and stuff have enough sets and costumes that they probably do that. They're like, this is my Sunday costume. This is my like Monday night costume. But yeah, all this to say, I'm not organized enough to have costumes. I'm pretty sure you'll see my bag open several times throughout this video, and you'll be scared of what you see in there. But yeah, so we go to Ul'dah, we arrive there, and we meet this wonderful mustached Lalafell, because all great adventurers have a mustached Lalafell that betrays you. We don't get betrayed, but like I was kind of thinking we might. When we do talk to him, we meet the dancers that the letters were for, that Kupka had the letters for, and he presents the letters to them, and they're talking about having new costumes for their event that's coming up. And Elaine has the great idea of reusing the Valentione's costumes, I think from last event, for their dance, which is a really cool idea. People are really excited about this. The mustached Lalafell actually gives Elaine Aline? I don't know. Maybe I'm saying her name there. Aline? She gets her first adventure from him. And let's be honest, it's a delivery quest, which kind of sucks. We all get those adventures on our MMO journeys, but she's pretty excited about it. She gets to do the quest and get some of the delivery as her reward, some of the extra part of the delivery. And the quest really is just walking and delivering candy to sick kids, which is good. I mean, kind of bad that she's taking some of the candy from the sick kids as her reward, but you know, she's a kid too, so it kind of makes sense. The kids themselves are in the same place that we celebrated the Little Ladies' Day from last year, which is really cool. I think this event overall has done an extremely good job of melding the two events together and really emphasizing the good parts of each event and making it so it doesn't feel like they're forced together. And I should mention at this point, the mustached Lalafell, when explaining all of this, does directly talk about the fact that the two events have been put together. Like, that's why the dancers are performing a dance. That's why a lot of this makes sense. So I think the game did a really good job of directly talking about it with players. And this is kind of like a bigger picture topic, but you know, you could look at this as things getting lazy and like not doing separate events and putting them together. I think the developers have done a really good job for themselves of being very transparent even through the gameplay content and talking about it being together and how well the events work well together. So I think it not only works, it feels better this way. It feels really cool to have these two events linked in such a way. So I think it's really cool, and they position it as like this super amazing celebration that never happens because they're happening together this year. So that's really cool. Anyways, we deliver the candy to the children. The children are happy. Elaine's happy. She gets some candy to take home, which is super cool. She gets paid with her candy. And then we get to see the dancers perform. And it is, in fact, the past Valentione's costumes that they are wearing. I had that exact costume because back at that time last year, I was not a Lalafell, which was crazy for me. I was like, wait, didn't I have that exact costume? And then I was like, wait, I looked completely different back then. So there you go. That was kind of a trip down memory lane, and it made me wonder and pause and enjoy the world. From there, we travel back and we talk to Lisette, and we kind of have like a wrap session that you have at the end of every single event where we talk about the things that we learned. And what I think is particularly interesting about a lot of these events is that we're not the main character. We're kind of a facilitating character. Like it puts these other NPCs in the spotlight and we get to watch them progress as characters. Whereas a lot of the other, certainly in other MMOs, but even in the main scenario quests and stuff like that, we are the primary focus of a lot of what goes on. In these events, though, we get to see characters like Astrid and stuff like that progress, and it's like it's almost them that we're rooting for. We're kind of just there to hang out. Even with Elaine's sort of delivery of the candy, in past situations, we'd be the one doing that delivery. In this, we're kind of just watching someone do a quest, and we're like cheering them on as like a hero, which is such a weird way for the game to position itself, but it really works, and I think it's so good. And I think it's a really good job that the game has these kind of wrap-up sessions where we talk about what happened and sort of sum up what everybody learned, which is really cool. But most importantly, I got my hat. I look super cool in my hat. This hat will probably be on my head for a long time, or until the next event comes out and I need that hat, because they know how to win me over. But yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you enjoyed these events. I had a lot of fun. Next video should be all about story, I promise. I am progressing through the main scenario quest. I am having a fun time. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.